Hey guys, so essentially in this video I'm going to try and walk you through how you can get started in Blender. Everything I'm going to go through, so I'm going to model just a simple cup, and you can download Blender, which I'll link in the description, and then you can join me and learn how to do it. I'm going to tell you what keys I press as I press them, and this screen in front of you should be what you have, because I did revert my factory settings. So that. Brilliant. So the first thing, this is what you should have on your screen. So you've got this here, which is a camera. This is a light, and this is the cube. But we don't actually need any of that, so I'm going to delete it all. So to select everything, you want to press A, which will deselect something. So if you've got something highlighted, it'll have this yellow outline around it. You press A again, and you remove the outline. And then in order to deselect something, you can press A. And then to select everything, you can then press A again. And then if you want to now delete this, you can just hit X. And oh, by the way, just in case you're wondering, you zoom in and out with the mouse wheel on your mouse. And if you hold the mouse button down and turn, it'll spin around. If you hold Shift and mouse up, move up, and Shift mouse down, and you'll move down. And then Control mouse up, you'll move right, left, like that. You can pretty much get anything, because you'll likely have times, which I'm sure I'll show you later, where you're in this position, but you're all the way over here, and you can't work out, and you're trying to do something around the center, but your center is over there. So you fix that by going to this. An issue that some of you might have is you might not have number pads. I'll show you a way of working around that if anyone comments and says they need it. But if you press 1 on your numpad, it'll take you to this. 3 will go to your side. So, and 7 is top down. That's the only ones you really need. All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a cup. So a good place to start would probably be a circle, I expect. So you can go down here and click Add, or as you can see, it says there Shift A, so you can hit Add, it'll give you that menu, or Shift A, give the exact same menu, except it's in reverse. And you get Mesh, and Plane, Cube, Circle. Great. And I'm just going to quickly show you there. Now, say you had your clicker, so you've got your little symbol here, which is a little red circle crosshair. That's where your target is. So if my crosshair's over there and I hit Add and go Circle, that's where it'll come in. Really, you want it in the center. So to center it, you can do Shift C, and that'll put it to the center. So Shift C. You'll use that one a lot, I expect. So re-add that circle. Another thing I'll quickly show you is if I press 1 now, and if I look around, you can see that I'm in perspective. So I'm able to see things relatively easily. But sometimes I might want orthographic, which is like in orthographic, depth doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 meters away or 1 meter away, it's the same. Okay, so a good way of doing this in orthographic, because you have all of these little grid symbols, while in perspective, that would not. Right, so far we've just got a circle. Obviously, it's not much of a cup, so we need to edit that now, because that on itself isn't much good. So we can go Object Mode and then Edit. And alternatively, you can press Tab. And then all we want to do essentially is bring this up. So I'm going to hit 1 on the numpad and then press E to extrude. And then here we go. Now, obviously, that would be a bit slanted. And I actually want it to go straight up. So what I'm going to do with still holding this, I'm going to hit Control, and that'll make it snap to grid, and I can make it nice and straight like that. Perfect. See, that might be a bit low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back into my side view, and then I'm going to sort of drag it up here a bit, and then I hold Control again. Perfect, that's about right. Next up, I'm going to hit Extrude again, and then I'm going to, rather than left click, I'm going to use right click, and now that is on the same spot as the other one. And I want to pull it in. S. There we go. Perfect. Now I want to bring it back down again to meet at the bottom, so I'm going to press 1 on the numpad, and then I realize I can't see it there, so I'm going to hit Z to go into wireframe. And if I just pull this down, that obviously isn't ideal, so right click to return it. I'll press P, pull this down while holding Control, because I want to, and I want to go almost to the bottom, but not quite that little gap there. And then if I look inside, I can now press F, add the face at the bottom. F the face, nice and easy to remember that one. And now I want to add another face at the bottom down here. So I could go around and, well, you're probably doing this. You can use Shift while right clicking. This is right click to select vertices. You can use Shift and then highlight them like that. Or if there's a full loop, I can hold Alt and do it like that. Alt is perfect for us here, so we shall do that. And I'm just going to press F, add the face. Perfect. Although it is a cup, doesn't look very good yet, but we will get there. I'm going to go for 1, center my view. I'm going to press 3 to look on the side view. Actually, this doesn't massively matter. Also, when I'm doing that, all I'm pressing is Tab to swap between object mode and edit mode. Now, these are very long, straight rectangles, which isn't really ideal for modeling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control R, and then as you can see, it adds that little pink line. Now, if I click now, or if I move off it, it won't do anything. If I highlight over it, pink line. I can just scroll up until I get roughly squarish shapes. That's about right. And then I can left click once, and that allow me to then shift them around. And I don't want that. I want them perfectly centered. So I'm going to right click. Perfect. Next up, I want to put a handle on it. Also, you'll notice how it's quite hard to see some of this. So to fix that, you can press N to bring up this side menu. And then scroll down, and under display, go world background, Mac. There we go. It's under shading. I apologize. You can go textured solid, ambient occlusion, matte cap. That adds this on. Uses lots of different matte caps. I am a fan of that one. I am used to it. Brilliant. So we've almost got a cut here. And yeah, so I'm going to go add down here. You've got different selection modes. So this one is vertices select, allows you to select vertices like this. This one is edge select, select edges. And this one is turn off texture solid. Face select allows you to select faces. And if you ever pick something up, by the way, you can drop it by like so, nice and simple. And if you accidentally do just do that by accident, you can undo it by holding Control and pressing Z. Until there we go. Right. So we want a handle. So we'll go for about there and about say, there. Does that look about right? No, I think up one here, and we'll stay low on this side. Brilliant. Got the Z, so I can look through the wireframe, make sure I've not selected anything else. Front view, and I'm going to extrude this bit out, holding control again, but only slightly. And then I'm going to stop it there, add an edge loop there and there with Control R, and select it again. I'm going to go extrude, pull them out, and then I'm going to press R to rotate. Okay, not like that. I'm going to select just those front ones. And to do that, by the way, you can, what I just did is I went into this mode. So hit Z to go on wireframe mode, press C, and it brings the selection tool up. You can just drag that through that. I've selected those. Now what I'm going to do is rotate this one, face up by 90 degrees. And I'm going to do the same up here. Rotate this one to look down by 90 degrees, 95. And you'll notice that when rotating, down in the bottom left down here, it will tell you the percentage amount. And obviously I'm currently rotating, so I'm going to right click to return it how it was. And I'm going to select these two, just to make sure I selected it. Now I want to scale them to meet in the middle, but you'll notice that they are also growing larger as I do that. So I only want to scale on the Z axis, which is up and down. So I'm going to press Z and then pull in. You'll notice the difference between the two. So I want to pull them in to about here. That looks about right. And I want to bridge that gap. So I'm going to go for type in bridge. So to bring up that menu, press space. And then you can type in, and most things are in there. So bridge edge loops, like that. And that gives us a handle. Now, it's quite low poly at the moment. So let's sort that out. So let's add an edge loop here, and an edge loop here. And I'm going to hold Alt, select this one and this one. And I'm going to press 1 to go back into this side view. Select this one. And I want to scale it to make it go out a bit. But this time I only want it to go on the X, no, Z. What do I want it to do? Kind of want to come out a bit, and then I want to scale on just Z. There we go. To round it off a bit, just like that. Still straight? Yes. Now we're going to use a slightly different command. We're going to select these again and press Control B. Pull out. And then we're going to push up once. And click. Made it much more rounded. But handles are still a little bit rough. But we're going to slightly cheat. And we can close these menus, by the way, with N for the right one and T for the left. See, on this sidebar, I'm just going to drag this one out a bit. You'll notice we've got a couple of different buttons there. I won't go through all of them now because some of them are more complicated than others. There's a little wrench here. This is the one that we're going to want. We're going to go Add Modifier, Subdivision Surface. We're going to put that one on 2. You don't actually have to do that. It's just to make it a little bit neater. And next up, still looks a bit janky, so I'm going to hit Smooth. And you'll notice that the inside looks very weird. The reason for that is because we have a subdivision surface. So I'm going to hit that little eyeball there to turn that bit off a second. Select that bit down at the bottom, and then where it says mean crease on the side, in this N menu, under transform, mean crease, put that to 1. Now if I turn this back on, slightly better, not massively though. But we're going to do the same here. Perfect. And the best way to fix that really would be to delete that face, because you don't generally want a face with connecting that many different things. I believe it's connecting to 32 different vertices. So a lot more than you want. But for the purpose of this, it doesn't matter that much. So I'm going to select these two lines. I'm going to put a slight bevel in that one with the Control B, and we won't do any additional ones this time. And I'm noticing, I believe, the normals are the wrong way around. So I'm going to hit Tab, select all, W, flip normals, Tab. Better. What else do we want to do? We probably don't want this to look so smoothed out, but we also don't want we don't want a completely solid line. So I'm going to use wireframe mode to select. I want to make sure I get all the way around, and then I'm going to select the same at the bottom. I want to make sure I get those two. Sort that crease out. We don't want it complete, but we do want a bit more of it. That's more like it. So it looks like it's sort of attached on there. Right, I am going to fix these bottom pieces. The way to do that, I'm going to press Control 7 in order to look from the bottom. E, right click, and then just scale in. I'm going to do this a couple of times, keeping relatively evenly shaped ones until we get all the way to the bottom. About there, and I'm going to press E, right click, W, merge at center. And that's fixed that one. Now let's fix the inside. Delete the face. And if you remember, delete is X. And just to make sure I got the right piece, I'm going to press G to move it around, then right click to make sure it's in. And 7 to look from the top. E, S. Just going to roughly-ish match the other ones, but it doesn't really matter. We just want to make sure we've got some, and then merge at center. There we go, and that's much neater now. Much neater. Okay, so we have pretty much got ourselves a bit of a mug here. Now, you notice that the inside doesn't really have many vertices, so we're going to do the same on the inside as we did on the outside. So Control R to add edge loop, scroll up so we get roughly square shapes. Go for about there. It doesn't need to be perfect. And the top of the mug is nice and rounded. I'm right with that. Don't feel like I need to add to that. And actually less than this a little. I need to about 90 just to get rid of the hard edge. There we go. It's a bit nicer. I'm also gonna. Oh no, I don't think those matter. They don't matter. Okay. Next up, we've got our cup now, but we're gonna probably want our cup to sit on something. So we're gonna go add mesh. Oh, also worth noting, you do want to be in object mode now, and you also want to press Shift C to get centered. You want to add mesh, plane. 7, scale it up. And again, you can hold Control if you want to lock it to grids. But I've actually done this quite small, but that'll be fine. And because I scaled in object mode, this currently, if you look up here on the end menu, while in object mode with this item highlighted, notice 7.9, 7.9, 7.9, which isn't right. Scale should always be 1. So what I want to do now is I can't just put that to 1 because that'll do that, which obviously I don't want that. What I want to do is hold Control, press A, and then apply rotation at scale. And now its base size is 1. Perfect. Next, we probably want to put some textures on. Currently, if I go click this one and click rendered, not really ideal, not really what we want. And Shift Z, by the way, and you can in and out of rendered mode. Additionally, I'm currently using the Blender render engine, which I don't really like. So I'm going to swap onto Cycles Render because it's better. And if I check now, you'll notice instantly that looks better already. Next. So first of all, let's texture our plane. So I'm going to click on these. This, I want to make sure I've got the plane selected. And on this side panel, I want the little ball, which is a texture ball. And then click New. It's currently called Material 0.001. We're going to name it Table Top. Brilliant. Next up, I'm going to get rid of the end menu. And then in the top right corner, see this little drag out button. Drag that out to the middle, split my screen. I'm going to get rid of these. Now, where your cursor is important now, because if I'm on this screen and select different things, it doesn't necessarily work in the next screen. So if I go Control A here and move it out, it goes. But I can then click on this bottom button down here, which you can scroll along, by the way, with up and down scroll. Go Node, Editor. And then I've got an menu in here. And you'll notice that I made a material, but it seems to have gone. That's because I have the cup selected. So when I've got the cup selected, there's no material applied to the cup. We apply the material to the table. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go rendered. It's just white. Controls in this are very simple. You hold down middle mouse click button to rotate things around, move stuff, and you can zoom in and out. I'm going to get rid of the diffuse texture, and you'll notice I've put this side in rendered mode. Black, which is what we expected because I got rid of the texture. Principled shader. This is pretty much the king of all shaders. You can do basically anything with this. Put that into. Now, next up, I need something to go into that base color. So I could just select into that there. And just to make sure, to add to principled, go Shift A, shader, principled. And you'll notice here that green, they add up. So if I go Shift A, I could go texture, and lots and lots of different textures in here. I can pretty much pick anything we want. What should we go for? Also, you can go for an image texture as well, and then you can open up and see all of your images that you've got saved. So I might decide I want to go for, let's go for wood planks. And up here at the top, by the way, you have, so you can look at them. So I'll put wood planks, and then I need to attach that into the base color. But that doesn't look right at all. The reason for that is I need to click onto this bottom button down here, go onto UV Image Editor, and then on this side, I need to select it. It's already selected, but select, press Tab, and then I need to select everything. So A, while in our edit mode, U, unwrap. Now it's over here. So I can hit this bottom button, and I can see exactly how it will line up. Swap back to Node Editor now, and then I should be able to come out of Object and back into Object mode, hit Render. Perfect. There is a lot more I can show you in this, but I'm not going to drag you through that now because it's a relatively long topic. I should probably make a video all for that on its own. So this bit, you don't have to follow this. I'm just gonna really quickly sort it all out. There we go. Next up, do the cut next. Save this till second on purpose. If I press Tab now, zoom in on this. So this is our little square. This is where it'll get unwrapped. Select all, unwrap. That's not right. There's a reason for that, and that's because it needs to unwrap flat, and we haven't cut the mesh up in any manner in order to be able to unwrap this. So what we need to do is we need to either go select all and go Smart UV Project, which will cut it up for us, but not necessarily the best way. Or we will manually do it ourselves. And I'm going to show you to do it manually. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this line, and this line, and this line. I'm going to try to. There we go. And then open up this T menu. And then we're going to go shading, /UVs, mark seam. And same here. I'm alt clicking when I'm selecting all the way. And then mark seam. Perfect. Now I want to try and hide these seams. So naturally that's an obvious place to put them because they are, although they're going to be the same texture, we probably want that to have a break because it's meant to look like it's attached on. So that's fine. But this piece here also won't unwrap flat on its own. So I'm going to need to put another line in here. I'm going to go with this one. I don't need these ones because that's separate. I'm going to go mark seam and make sure that it went through. Perfect. I'm going to have a look. I want normal unwrap. Perfect. So this, by the looks of it, would be our handle. If I press H and it will disappear. Perfect. So next up, this is the main body of it. An obvious place and somewhere that we're going to basically have to have one is around up here. That's that seam. Also, just for the ease of seeing, I'm going to turn that bit off. Next up, we're going to also need another line. And I'm also going to click on this one. So I've gone back into object mode, selected this, H, which hides it, and back into edit mode. Now if I unwrap, we've got two circles. And then going to unwrap at the bottom here, seam. And I'm going to manually select these lines because I don't want the whole loop. And mark seam. Now we should have one relatively straight one, and this one which is still a bit bent. I'm going to go there, there, and here. Wrap this. Getting that. And we mark this one. Okay, so we've got a bit connecting here still, and it means I did indeed miss a piece. Unwrap. And that looks fine to me. And these should be the bottoms and the tops. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, next up. Now that's done, we can actually start texturing this. So we haven't got a texture assigned to this one yet. So open to the textures panel, or you can also do it down here, by the way. But hit new. Don't want the diffuse. We want the principled. So remember, Control A, shader, and look. I'm going to throw in another image texture. Doesn't actually matter what you make it out of. You can make it out of anything you like. But I've got a few here, so you don't actually need these. I'm going to go with terracotta clay. Let's go for it. That'll be fine. And not really the right color, but that'll be fine. And there we go. We've got our texture. I'm going to add the others in so that you can see that it worked properly. Again, don't actually need to do all this. No vector, all that. There we go. Right. So now we've got our two textures. So back to object mode, back to solid view, and then press Alt H to bring that one back. Get rid of that screen, so you're probably going to want to know how to do that one. So in order to get that screen, in order to get that screen, it's those little dots at the top, and then to get rid of it, you hit those dots, and then if you drag it right, it'll give you that sign. Drag it left, it'll give you that sign. You want this one, and it's gone. Perfect. Next up, we want to have a look to see what it looks like. So I'm going to add camera, and then I'm going to press Shift F, and then I'm Shift F, and now controlling the camera. I'm going to press 0, sorry, and then Shift F. Now I'm controlling the camera. Press A, W, S, and D to move it around. Go for around about here, like so. Yeah, that'll do. And then go to right click on this, click on the modifiers panel, turn the modifier back on. Beautiful. And if we have a look to see what it looks like. There we go. It's a little bit dull, but that's fine. We're also going to want lights. So we're going to go add lamp. We'll go for a spot lamp. 1, bring it up, have a look at it. I want it to slightly glance off a bit. About there. It doesn't need to be perfect. Now if I have a look, see what we got. There we go. So we've got a nice shadow on there now. And if I put the strength up, so to get to strength, you need the light selected, which you can do up here. And then 100, go to like 250. There we go, we've got a nice shadow there. Let's bring the size down. Bring it right down. And crank this up. I'm going to put it up to about 500. Get a nice hard shadow on that ground there. That might be a bit too hard. We'll go for 0.05. Ooh, that's still quite a strong shadow. 0.1, which I think is what it was at in the first place. There, that'll it got nice and looks a relatively realistic-esque scene. And when you're done then, we can got it relatively low resolution. I've just clicked over on this one. You've got your render presets here. You can open it up. Resolutions, outputs, all of that stuff. And then I can just go render and hit render image. And then, as you can see, it'll just go through. Shouldn't take too long, but it will vary depending on your computer specs and everything else. But as you can see, coming out, it's looking alright. Not too bad at all. And I would pause it here, I apologize, but it's not too bad, it's not too bad. It says a minute remaining. So while we're doing this then, I'll walk you through some of the other settings here. So if I was doing a proper scene, I would have hit the denoising button. That allows you to get rid of just little bits of noise, but to be honest, there isn't any noise in this. So, oh no, there's a little bit here. Like you can see like these bits here, you can get rid of with the denoise. However, those are quite small, they probably wouldn't even show up. Okay. And then you've got passes. If you want to do some stuff with it after, sometimes with passes you can get some really nice cool effects going. And probably one of the more important ones under sampling. This is the sort of samples that it puts everything through. So every square of this is sampled a certain number of times, and then it's done. That's how it works. The preview only does 38, it does 128 for this. Brilliant. There we go. There is our cut. I can press F3 if we want to save this. I'll save it as cut, then save as image, and there we go. We have made our first cup. Now, sorry if I went slightly too quickly, or if you want to re-go over something, then obviously you can replay that part of the video or leave a comment and I'll see if I can help. But yeah, that's some of the basics on how to use Blender with not a single breath taken. All right, good luck, guys, and I'll see if I can do another one at some point.